We now come to what we call the community mailbag segment of this program, and I'm going to respond to a lot of emails, or at least some of them, that have come from residents of our district, the 12th District in Macomb and Oakland counties. So let's go. There was an email from Judy in St. Clair Shores, and she said, "Thank you for your attention to Lake St. Clair and the Great Lakes. I would like to know specifically what progress has been made since the Army Corps of Engineers Restoration Plan of '05 was set in motion." Well, that plan had about 100 recommendations, and I'm looking at just some summary of it. And what we did last year in what was called the Water Resources Development Act was to pass a provision that authorizes up to $20 million in federal funds to implement this plan. And now the challenge, in Congress we have first an authorization process, and then we have to appropriate the money. And so now we have the challenge of finding the actual money. And the other members of Congress who are very much involved with this program from Michigan, Representative Candace Miller, and the two senators, my kid brother Carl Levin and Debbie Stabenow, we've requested $700,000 as a first installment in carrying out the management plan. Money's going to be intensely fought over, but we're hopeful of success. And let me just say, as I go on to the next letter, this effort to put Lake St. Clair and what flows into it back in its pristine form, all of this effort is really critical. And our office spends a lot of time, and we should be, trying to achieve it. We're dedicated to making that happen. All right, let's see. The next one comes from Maryland and Pleasant Ridge. What's been done by the Democratic Congress? We're now in the majority. But we hope to work when we can on a bipartisan basis to make the role of special interests and lobbyists less of an influence. On the opening day of the new Congress with the new majority, what we did was to pass what was called the Honest Leadership and Open Government Act. Actually, that was the one that was followed up. The original bill related to gifts, ending free lunches, ending all of these private jet efforts, and making sure there was full disclosure of earmarks. Then, as I mentioned, we passed the Honest Leadership and Open Government Act, signed into law last September, and it has unprecedented efforts to bring about disclosure of efforts by lobbyists. So let me just say, we're not there yet. It's far from perfect, Maryland, but we've taken some significant steps to make this a more responsive government, and one that is open, and one is not susceptible, as it has been in the past, to free gifts, jets, lunches, etc. Okay, the next question comes from Lester in Oak Park. And he says, "I have a question about Consumer Energy cutting off the gas service for customers in the cold winter months. I need your attention to this matter. We need to change this in Humane Act." There's a federal program called LIHEAP, the Low Income Home Energy Assistance Program. We've been fighting to expand this program. It surely has been needed in these difficult times. There's often been resistance to doing so, but I want to assure you that we're going to oppose any proposed cuts in this LIHEAP program. And if anybody would like further knowledge about LIHEAP, they should be in touch with our website or our home office in Roseville. All right, the next is from Clarence in St. Clair Shores. And Clarence, you ask about the high cost of prescription drugs and healthcare costs for seniors. We need to take further action. We've tried to, for example, make it easier to import drugs from Canada, from other countries where the costs are so much lower. We've also tried to see if we can get the federal government, the key agency, to negotiate lower prescription drug prices. Unfortunately, the President's administration has opposed both of these efforts, and we haven't been successful. We'll keep on trying. The next comes from Mary Jane Warren about efforts to attract green businesses to Michigan. And I guess there isn't time to go into this. I just want to say, though, that we're trying to undertake programs in Michigan that would be along these lines. And our governor really has taken the lead in trying to attract what's called green business to Michigan. We have an immense opportunity in Michigan to take the lead in helping businesses that want to bring about environmentally friendly efforts in the business world. And I think that's going to be increasingly successful. I guess we have time maybe for just one more. There's a question about the award of the tanker contract to an entity that is based overseas. All I can say about this is we're going to look into it. We're going to look into it. We've got to fight for jobs in this country. And maybe we have time for just one more about retraining in Michigan. And I'm proud to say that there's a major effort in Michigan to make our training programs and retraining far more effective. The governor has taken the lead on this, and we in Washington are trying to help out. And we have before us the Trade Adjustment Assistance Act. We need to reauthorize it. We need to expand it to include service workers. We need to improve the health coverage of it. We need to make sure that all who are displaced from manufacturing are covered. We passed a strong bill along those lines in the House. It's been opposed by the White House. We're going to continue to fight for the extension and the improvement of the Trade Adjustment Assistance Act. Well, I guess that's all the time we have. We'll try to take on some more of these questions the next time around. And so let me just mention, for questions about today's program, more information on issues before Congress, or assistance with federal government agencies, please visit my website or call my office anytime. My website and office phone numbers will appear on the screen very, very shortly. So thanks again. Thanks for joining us today. See you again soon, I hope.